These super mansions are awesome. Number 5 is just ridiculous.
Number 10, Xanadu 2.0. This house belongs to none other than Bill Gates. You know, the guy who founded Microsoft? Yeah, this billionaire has a pretty sweet crib near Seattle, right on the waterfront. It goes for about $150 million, so a drop in the bucket when you're a billionaire. It's 66,000 square feet, which is over 30 times as big as a normal home. There are 7 bedrooms and 24 bathrooms, with a half dozen different kitchens.
You can get a snack anywhere in the Gates residence.
There's also a giant trampoline room.
So don't go in there after feasting in one of his many kitchens.
The nickname of this house is Xanadu 2.0. Why? It's named after the house in the movie Citizen Kane, owned by fictional billionaire Charles Kane. He even has a special maple tree that's very dear to him, and so, naturally, there is a computer monitoring its soil and making sure that it never dries out. Lucky tree. Number 9. 18 and 19 Kensington Palace Gardens. This Victorian mansion sits in none other than the richest street in London.
The whole street is filled with super expensive houses, but the combined 18 and 19 takes the cake.
Now owned by Indian billionaire Lakshmi Mittal, this place has a long history. It was first built in 1847 and occupied by a number of merchants and businessmen. In 1912, Lionel de Rothschild, one of the famous Rothschild family, moved in and renovated the whole place. The 2 buildings were also embassies for Egypt and Russia during the middle of the 20th century. In the 1990s, though, they were repurchased, merged into one monster building, and renovated again. Then they were resold together as one massive package deal. Now, the combined property is estimated to be worth around $200 million. Number 8. Palazzo di Amore. This house was previously listed as the most expensive residence in the United States for $195 million. It's in Los Angeles, and billionaire Jeff Green has been trying to sell it for a number of years. He fancies himself a real estate developer since he bought the place for only $35 million previously, then remodeled the whole place. It's got 53,000 square feet, a sturdy 12 bedrooms and 25 bathrooms, and all the amenities. Movie theater, bowling alley, disco, spa, multiple pools, and a wine cellar with a vineyard to make your own wine. It's over the top, but that's the way they do things in LA. You even get your own waterfall and incredible views of the whole city.
And it's for sale with a special price cut, only $130 million. What a bargain!
Number 7. 4 Fairfield Pond. Owned by another billionaire, who would have thought, this compound is located on the southern edge of Long Island in New York. Ira Rennert has a ton of money from the world of Wall Street and spent it on making an insane villa. It has 62,000 square feet in the house, but the property is over 63 acres of beachfront land in one of the most expensive areas in the world, the Hamptons. There are 21 bedrooms and 18 bathrooms, and 12 chimneys.
I didn't know you needed that many chimneys.
The house also has its own power plant. The owner wouldn't want a silly thing like a power outage to inconvenience him, but that's not all. There are 3 side houses, including pool houses and an entertainment house. There's a movie theater, a basketball court, and a bowling alley, of course. These rich guys sure know how to party. It could list for over $300 million in theory, but it's not for sale right now. Watch out, though. If you buy this place, the neighbors are going to make your life difficult. Apparently, they don't like all the zoning violations that the owner has committed in building up his wild and crazy property. Number 6. Ellison Estate. Another supermansion, another billionaire. This time it's Larry Ellison of Oracle. He has a ton of different super expensive homes, apparently. He even bought the Hawaiian island of Lanai. The mansion you see here on Google Earth today is located in Woodside, California, and is estimated at about $200 million. It's modeled to look like a Japanese palace, with its own tea house, a lake, a giant koi pond, a bathhouse, and multiple guest houses. There are 10 million pounds of rocks that were brought in especially to do landscaping. Ellison spared no expense on this insane house. Interestingly enough, the house is constructed without any nails at all.
but it can still withstand a 7.3 earthquake on the Richter scale. Pretty cool.
The whole project took 9 years to finish, but now it's another supermansion wrapped up in landscaping that makes it a work of art. And in one of the most expensive areas on Earth. It's no wonder this house costs so much. Number 5. Odeon Tower Penthouse. This one is the most expensive penthouse in the world. It's worth about $400 million, located in the tiny country of Monaco on the coast of the Mediterranean, bordering France. There are 38,000 square feet in this swanky apartment, with 5 levels at the top of this tower, 500 feet or 150 meters above the ground. 45 stories separate the bottom floor of this penthouse from the streets of Monaco. You can imagine the views of the ocean from this insane pad.
And yes, there is a water slide going from the dance floor to the rooftop terrace pool.
There are also 5 kitchens, a full-time staff including a chef and a chauffeur, and even access to the tower's gym and fitness center. But it's actually good value. Just 90 square feet in Monaco can cost upwards of $1 million. Why? The country is a well-known tax haven. Wealthy people love to have a residence there so that they can become citizens and legally dodge some taxes. For billionaires, it might be the smartest financial move they could make. Or at least that's how they can justify it to themselves as they bathe in champagne at the top of the world. Number 4. Viale. This mansion is $400 million in the highly desirable south of France. It's 190 years old, with 18,000 square feet and a mere 14 bedrooms. But the location and the size of the property is to die for. It's got 35 acres near the Mediterranean coast. It started as an olive farm with trees there that have been around since the early 1700s. It was briefly owned by King Leopold II of Belgium, who became wealthy exploiting rubber plantations in the Congo. Now there are massive gardens with over 14,000 different plant species and 25 greenhouses. It's a gardener's paradise. And for the drinker, it even has its own special iconic liquor, Grand Marnier, which is a blend of cognac and triple sec. Having a famous drink first crafted at this mansion is a pretty impressive niche.
But there's an even more expensive mansion on the French Riviera to see.
Number 3. Via Leopolda. The second of 2 insane French mansions, Via Leopolda was named after the same King Leopold who owned Viale. The guy was ruthless in his extraction of wealth from the African colony, and he spent his money on a lot of French real estate.
Then he gifted the estate to one of his mistresses, Caroline Lacroix. Pretty excessive.
After his death, the property went through a series of owners, most recently the banker Edmond Safra and his wife Lily. They threw outrageous and prolific parties in the 80s, and after he passed away in 1999, she took ownership. It's worth over $400 million today. There are 18 acres, 2 guest houses, 19 bedrooms, 80,000 square feet, multiple dining rooms and kitchens, the swimming pools, gardens, and of course, a private movie theater.
Pretty standard fare as extreme luxury goes.
There are rumors that Lily Safra actually sold the home to a group of buyers, including Bill Gates. No one knows for sure. Sometimes billionaires like to find quiet retreats and lay low in old royal summer palaces. Number 2. Antillia. This is the most expensive private home in the world. $2 billion. It's a skyscraper where every floor is a luxury living space located in a very expensive part of Mumbai. The costs add up. Congrats to Indian billionaire Mukesh Ambani on the most opulent house ever created by a private citizen. 400,000 square feet in this place, 27 stories, 570 feet, hanging gardens, a helipad, a ballroom, home movie theater, health spa, fitness center, full-fledged temple, and a garage for 168 cars all deck this place out. Of course, a place like this brings its fair share of controversies. The helipads violate the Indian Navy's rules about aircraft in the area, and the building is too over the top for most people, who say that Mr. Ambani should have spent that money on something to help the very poor.
But he can't hear the haters over the sound of his own private chopper waiting to pick him up off the rooftop of his skyscraper.
Number 1. Buckingham Palace. The Queen of England, Elizabeth II, lives here. Needless to say, this is the most expensive home in the world. Of course, it's not for sale, but some people choose to estimate its value if it were. Figures vary between $1.5 and $5 billion. It's owned by the British Crown. There are a staggering 775 rooms with 92 offices, 19 staterooms, 78 bathrooms, 52 bedrooms, and 188 rooms for staff members. Over 800 people work at the palace, doing everything from gardening to cooking to answering mail. How big is this place to have so many people work at this one building?
It's 829,000 square feet. That's 19 acres.
This place has history. It became property of the royal family when George III bought it in 1761. Yes, the same George III who lost the American Revolution. The same man who acquired this palace lost the 13 colonies. But it became a palace in 1837 when Queen Victoria lived there. And until the king or queen decides otherwise, you're never going to be able to buy this place.
That's the most expensive house in the world.